Well, it's Christmas Eve, December 24th, 2017. I'm wrapping up my videos. Yay, I made it. 90 videos. It certainly wasn't in 90 days, though, I'll tell you that. Holy moly. Oh well, that's okay. I accomplished what I set out to do. And, you know, setting goals is so important to regaining your choice or your right for choice in life. Moving on and going forward. You know, I mentioned so many things over these videos. Today I guess I'll look at, you know, Christmas as a blessing and an understanding that, you know, Christ was born tomorrow on December 25th, many moons ago. You know, and turning your life around and escaping that cycle of addictions or substance abuse is like, for me, it was like being reborn. You know, I'm sure I did have a spiritual awakening at a few different points, and one dramatic point there where I boom got a big rush, and all the torment and issues of jealousy and revenge and all that disappeared. But truly, I believe you can turn the clock back. Once you've had some substantial clean time, you have an opportunity to start over. Growing down is what I've tried to share with everyone. It's all about growing down and enjoying life and starting over. You know, you have to stop and hit the restart button, you know, and whoa, let's get things underway and, you know, really change who you are, change that core inner belief and all the things that you believe to be true at one point. You know, it was so devastating for me there and through my separation and that. You know, it devastated my core belief in that my marriage is a one-time thing. And I'll be with my wife through thick and thin, and no matter what, I'll be around my kids. Sure, I might be sick, but I guess for the most part, it wasn't the actual drinking that was the problem. It was the negative consequences of the drinking and the outrage and anger and you know, the loss of my business and really losing my right for choice, losing my you know, I was under the influence 24/7. You know, a high on cocaine toward the end, 6-7 days up straight. You know, nobody can think clearly having sleep deprivation like that, being high on drugs and changing up that chemical imbalance in your brain. You know, there was a point there I couldn't talk a damn sentence. You know, it was like, fuck you or kiss my ass. You know, that was about the extent of a sentence I got in. You know, fucking watch your back or something. You know, I am truly blessed today, and I'm sharing my story because, you know, it's never too late for change. You know, a good life awaits all those who want it. You know, if you want change, you want to be persistent. You know, we're stubborn buggers, us addiction guys, addiction, you know, substance use disorder, they like to call it. You know, I imagine they'll change it up again down the future. Just like I like to see if they change up the AA way. I wonder how you would go about doing that. I'm going to talk to my buddy Scott Gallinger, who's a good friend of mine. He invented All Addiction Anonymous or something. I just forget. Yeah, AAA, All Addiction Anonymous. Yeah, All Addiction Anonymous. You know, he was quite the AA guy there for a long time. You know, today he's come to a better understanding. You know, I'm kind of a science guy. I'm facts. I want to know the facts. I want to know what's going on. I'm not gonna give up to a powerless mode and think, okay, somehow I'm allergic to it, I can't do it. You know, just like some reason the person says, you know, I don't know, I'm throwing something out in the wind. You know me, I can't walk across the country, across America. You know, you can do it. You set your mind to it. And I truly believe you can do anything you set your mind to do it. You know, it's a remarkable, and the decisions you make today determine the outcomes tomorrow. And bringing distance in between the times that you struggled and had issues and problems. Sure, we all know about the loop and how that creates a almost a spontaneous or impulse in your actions as to, the addiction and using and having that alternative escape mechanism. Many of us just want to escape those darn unhealthy or unproductive or, them scary or, it's a fear of the unknown. They don't know what's going on and you're confused. And, like I said before, I fought for many years and trying to see my way clearly. And there was no damn way I was going to be able to do it under any influence about anything. And my book, Life in the Game of Addictions, is my memoir that I wrote. And I shared in that book the stages as it happened and where I came from, how I become addicted, a lot of the words that are used and parents can recognize the change in your child and maybe the vocabulary that, anonymity is nothing to me anymore. For me, in breaking the stigma, being an advocate, getting out, breaking my anonymity and telling people this is where I was, this is what happened. I was a drug addict, I was a cocaine, crack addict. I was an alcoholic for 25 years, woke up every morning and drinking and shaking and, just puking and shitting. And, oh man, it was a terrible life. Just waking up, just wanting to die every day, really, get a few more big drinks into me and just be stabilized. And, sure, people might have seen some of my outer actions as disruptive. But for the most part, I tried to cover it up and tried to show that a happy facade and that, this is where, and there's so many people, this is where I am, this is what I am, this is what I'm going to do. I guess I'm doomed, and that's all part of that powerless mode that I'm doomed. I'm helpless. I'm powerless. I'm going to drink. I'm going to be drunk. I'm going to fall down. I'm going to lie. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to steal. I'm going to die an alcoholic. That's where the powerless mode is so disturbing to me, that we are in power of the choices we make in our life. Sure, we got to follow the rules, which I don't always do. breaking the rules. But it really was a pleasure in putting these videos together. And, it's all part of a growing experience for me as well. But my true love today is number one is in my family. Number one, no doubt, in my family. Second is my life and keeping balance and helping others and achieving their goals. Whatever it might be. A total abstinence program is not for everyone. I'll meet you where you're at. And anyone who reaches out for help, I hope to be there to help them, guide them through the steps to acquire whatever their desires are, whatever it is at the time that they want to do. I remember seeing a psychiatrist or wanting to see a psychiatrist years ago because I was still strung out shooting up cocaine, losing my family, my business, everything else. Because I was still high, still using, the psychiatrist said she wouldn't see me. And today it's almost unheard of. There's certain evaluations they have to do a certain psychiatrist. Of course they can't do that where you're under the influence. And I had doctors, psychiatrists diagnose me with borderline schizophrenic and all this other bullshit. And it's so sad. And, I could have went down that realm and, and did their pills of Milleril. It's not even on the market anymore. They don't give that. It's a high tranquilizer, man. I lay on the couch slobbering and didn't care what was going on outside around me on TV, nothing. Oh, thank goodness I got off of that shit. But anyway, substantial clean time is very, very, very important. Let's look at the facts. You're under the influence. Your chemical imbalance is not allowing you to connect the wiring in your brain that makes you, gives you the healthier choices that you make every day. So bringing distance in between your past and where you want to go in the future, you got to give it time. You can't, expect this to happen. Boom, 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 boom. It's taken me 7-8 years from crack and abusing crack, and 15 years, at least 16, 17 years from abusing alcohol. Today I don't mind having a cold beer. and any other situations that come about, I no longer call a flirtation or a blimp or a relapse. I've regained my right for choice, and today if I choose to have a beer, I'll damn well have a beer with my son. If I choose to have 2 or 3, that's fine. If you're gonna, if your choice is to regain your right for choice in moderation, all the power to you. Set some goals out. It's no different than setting an escape plan. If you decide you're not going to drink, you're going to abstain from alcohol altogether, you set up an escape plan. This is what I'm going to do if I'm at a party, if things get out of hand, I get overwhelmed. Instead of drinking, I have an escape plan. In the same way, you can set up a plan for you deciding that you wanted to have a couple beers. You only have 2 beers in the house. Somebody takes your keys. You can't get anywhere. You have no access to money. This is all the things you'd have to go through. I mean, you'd have to make up your own plan, of course, but and I certainly wouldn't encourage that within the first year or so. Like people thinking 6, 7, 8 months. Oh my God, I'm still not feeling that great. I don't know if my life's ever going to turn around. Hold on. Hang in there. Things do get better. It's a beautiful world out there, and today, like I mentioned a lot of times, I'm so blessed with the happy thoughts that I have. I'm sure I'm really looking like a papa now. I got my grandkids, and one day maybe they'll watch these things, and I love them to death. Little Lily, Weston, Carter, and Bentley. It's all about, for me, and helping create change and making this a better world for them. And giving my children the understanding and the belief that they too can overcome a situation in their life that may be overwhelming, that whatever it might be, in grieving or addictions. I hope by God they don't get into substance abuse or addictions or anything like that. But then that everyone has their little blurps, their whatever you call it, there's some kind of addiction. There's so many different names to it anyway, but everyone has their little black horse there they ride on. But you got to recognize and quitting one addiction and switching over to another addiction, spread it out, find some healthier alternatives to and focus on your life and balance and management and nutrition and exercise, and train your brain, educate your brain. For me, I was so closed-minded for so many years that I was stuck in a little bubble of, and I know addicts, and I know I was an addict at times too. You're stuck in this little bubble, and what you do, you get the drug, you go around, you get high, you're okay, you're stabilized, and then you're coming down, you're jonesing, you need more, you get up, you find it, you get the money, you get high, and you start that circle all over again. And that's where you're stuck, and it's such a sad life to live. And I know so many people in my past that have died through that. And with the fentanyl crisis out today, it's just a tragic that our young kids and people in their experimental stage can try it for the first time and have devastating effects, and it could even kill them. So listen, find out the facts for yourself. Take whatever you can get from whatever program, whatever I tell you, whatever works. I don't claim to know everything. I'm only sharing what worked for me and how I turned my life around. And I truly hope it helps someone along the way and helping change their life around, give them a break, give them some answers, held them in their sobriety for, that little bit longer. That so many people I know that do the 3-4 months, and they're so close to really breaking free from that cycle, and they get stuck back in that cycle again. And you got to give it time, put distance from the past, create new memories and new love for life, and bring the further you bring yourself apart from that bad behavior, those negative consequences, start creating good positive choices and outcomes, and the outcome of your choices, the more positive they are in the future, and you bring yourself along, you have something more to reflect on in the past that'll hold you strong and chopping wood out with my son the other day in my little 4x4 Ford truck and hooking a big cable and dragging her out of there and watching him run the chainsaw, man. That was love. That was love, man. I'll hold on to that feeling for a long time, and that's true joy.